With a White House follow-up on our recent coverage of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. As you know, 2 members of the armed forces have on this show come out publicly about being fired from the military for being gay. First Lieutenant Dan Choi is a West Point grad, an infantryman, and Iraq combat veteran who's fluent in Arabic. The Army has notified him he's being dismissed from the National Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach is an F-15 fighter pilot, an 18-year veteran of the Air Force who has served in both Iraq and Afghanistan. He's been decorated for heroism in combat. The Air Force has notified him that his career is being ended as well. Both men are fighting to stay in the military, but as long as the Obama administration continues to implement the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy that the president says he's against, the careers of both of these officers are effectively over. The military will have lost them forever. The investment in their training will be a loss. Both will become civilians, despite their skills and their desire to redeploy. Today at the White House press briefing, Air America's Anna Marie Cox, a friend of this show who's on deck to join us tomorrow, asked the White House spokesman about Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
This isn't about Gitmo, but it is about national security. Recently, 3 officers, West Point graduate Lieutenant Dan Choi, Air Force pilot Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach, and Army Second Lieutenant Sandy Tao, were all dismissed under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And is their dismissal a part of his national security strategy, or is their dismissal itself a threat to national security?
No. As I've said, I think when I was asked about these individuals, I think it may have been last week, I said that the president agreed that and said during the campaign and agreed with former members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that the policy wasn't working for our national interests, that he committed to change that policy, that he's working with the Secretary of Defense and the Joint Chiefs on making that happen, and that the only durable way to do that is to go through Congress, and that's what the president intends to do.
That part where Mr. Gibbs says the president is working with the Secretary of Defense and the Joint Chiefs on making that happen to change the policy, the Pentagon spokesman said just yesterday that that's not actually happening, that there is no planning underway. There's no work underway inside the Pentagon toward changing the policy, despite the fact that the White House keeps saying that there is. Just as a programming note, good on Anna Marie for asking that very tough question.